So let me share my screen. So yesterday we learnt about what is the problem and what is the solution that is available. Right? Solution क्या है कि हमको एआई से जल्दी सीखना है, एआई के ब्रेन से भी फास्ट और एफिशिएंट बनना है। ये सॉल्यूशन है। फॉर दैट, if you are knowing any technology, that is fine, but the best would be to know Java and Spring Boot. Ja- Java Spring Boot on the backend, and on front end React.js or Vue.js or AngularJS. This should be your basic thing. इतना तो आना ही चाहिए। इससे कम आएगा तो मुश्किल है। इतना अगर आ रहा है, उसके बाद हम कुछ कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद हम लोग अपने आप को फुल स्टैक डेवलपर बोल सकते हैं, जिसको चीजें आती हैं, and that person is now learning cloud DevOps. तो एक एंड टू एंड एप्लीकेशन बनाया हूं मैं, which we will use during this whole period. This is, let's say, the backend which is in Spring Boot. Let me start. You are seeing my screen, right? Screen visible है? Hello.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So it is building, and this is this Java Spring Boot based application, and in the front end I have the React.js based with Material UI based back front end application. Java Spring Boot in the back end and front end is in the React. So Spring Boot has started, and it has two profiles. One is, of course, H2 based database. This is this. It's very simple application. Employee management with all the details. This is this employee controller. Employee controller has all those endpoints, and then it has your another endpoint for the health check. Then it has service layer, employee service, which has all the CRUD operation. And then it has repository layer, which is this one where all the queries are written. Find an email, find by email, find by department, the employees find by position, and any search keyword also we can find. So similarly, find all departments, and delete update operation also there. Now this is our model. This is our exception handling, this and this. Okay. So now, of course, it is giving error. So we can say maybe update project. But application has started, so no need to worry. Next is we will start the front end. Backend has started. Backend can be accessed on 8080, localhost 8080, and database is at this level. Localhost. So this is our database. Just one table for keeping things simple. These are already the records. And our microservice application is also on localhost 8080. Let's see if this it has Swagger or not. Swagger or Open API. It doesn't have. It's fine. No worries. Here is the README file where you can read about this. What are the different endpoint it has? So if you open the README, this is how the project structure is set up. Employee management system, React plus Spring Boot plus Azure SQL, full stack on Azure. Front end is in ReactJS, material UI design, React router, Axios, React hook forms. Backend Spring Boot 3, JPA tool with H2 locally and Azure SQL on the database on the server. And then cloud infrastructure we have here, this one. These are to create the Azure App Service, one app service to host ReactJS, one app service to host Spring Boot, Azure SQL database for backend. To key store the database related credentials, we will use Key Vault, and all the logs that our Spring Boot will produce that will go into another service called Application Insights. So we will create, let's say, infrastructure. We will create using simple CLI scripts because with in Azure you can do two things. One is let me draw it. So let's say so far we have a React application, React.js application, which is our front end. Then we will have our Spring Boot application, which is our back end. And we have a H2 database, H2 database, which is in local. If we go for Azure Cloud or AWS Cloud or go for Google Cloud, any cloud. One, two. For deploying the front end, we will need something. For deploying the backend, we will need something. For database equivalent, we will need something. In what are the options available for deploying the front end? We can deploy it in something called app service. What is app service? It's a platform as a service which is available in Azure. There we can say, give me an app service with Node.js installed in it. Then Node.js can run the React application. Then we will ask for another app service. We will say, give me another app service with Linux and Java installed on it so that it can run Spring Boot. Then here I can get anything. But my requirement is SQL database. So I will ask for Azure SQL database. If my application was in no SQL MongoDB, then I could have asked no SQL database. If I would have to deploy, the other option was instead of these two, I could have just asked another a Kubernetes, Azure Kubernetes cluster, in which one pod could run Spring Boot, another pod could run React application like this. And database can be created here. And we will need another something called an Azure Key Vault. Key Vault is the place where this database will have a username and password. This will be stored in Key Vault. So when our application will start, it will go to the Key Vault, download the basically our application will get deployed here, right, in app service. So from app service to Key Vault, it will first connect, download the credentials of the database, then it will be able to connect to the database. Is it clear? What will be the architecture, where we are heading? Or any doubt? Hello?
Do we have any middleware component in between
Not required.
to deploy?
These are very simple application. Middleware is needed when you have, let's say, 1000 microservices which are built in some 500 are built in, let's say, mainframes, 200 are built in Python, 300 are in, let's say, another old technology, 100 is in Java. Then you can set up something as a middleware layer which can talk to all these things in a structure, some with a SOAP service, some with a REST service, and then you can have your application on top of it. But here it's very simple application, so no need of middleware. Got it? Now,
Sure.
If we would have to deploy it on AWS instead of app service, we had other option. AWS ECS is a service which you can deploy Docker, or it also has Kubernetes cluster called EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. For Azure, it is Azure Kubernetes Service. Here is Elastic Kubernetes Service, or equivalent of app service where you don't need to convert it into a Docker image. There's something called Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk on AWS Cloud. Equivalent services. So front end, back end can be deployed on this kind of services. And like we have Azure SQL, here also we have something called as RDS, RDS based database. Same on Google, we have Google GCP, Google virtual machines, like that we have. Any cloud you go, you will get something for deployment of applications, something for database, something for storing keywords, something for getting the logs. Now this application Spring Boot will write some logs. Na? That logs will go to another service which we will create is called App Insight. App Insight. In AWS it is called CloudWatch. CloudWatch. So every company is selling the equivalent service. So now, as I said, Saurav also joined, right? So as I said, minimum is that you know how to develop application in React.js, Spring Boot, and MySQL. Then yesterday you were having around 30% chance, right? If you are in on this stack, maybe you will get around 40 to 50% chance now itself without even knowing a cloud. But if you are on simple technologies like Node.js, all this, then you will have 30% chance only to get job. If you are adding Java and React, then this it can increase to this. So now let me quickly show you. So this is our backend application running. This is our database running. Let's run the front end. So as I said, the front end is in this, back end is in React in local, and we have the biceps template and all those I will show. So I've started the front end in local profile. Just I ran the main application. I came here, double click on this, right click, run as Java application. It will start. Same way. Now I have to, let's say, you should have Java installed in your local machine. Now I want to run the backend. So let me open the terminal. So here I can go. So here you have to open terminal. First, from here you have to type npm install so that all the libraries are installed. You have to install it from front end. I've already installed it. So whatever libraries are mentioned in the front end package JSON file, it will install them in the node modules here. You can also do that. You can open this front end app folder in your Visual Studio Code. You can open the backend in the React in this particular IDE, which is IntelliJ. IntelliJ is used for Java development. You can download IntelliJ from internet by typing IntelliJ community download. You can download VS Code editor for frontend use by typing VS Code download. Or you can use it in the same also. You can also use IntelliJ for both. But in industry, front-end development, VS Code is used, back-end development, IntelliJ is used. So now my libraries are already installed, so I will not do anything. I will stop it. I will just say, I don't want to do this. I will say npm start. As soon as I will do this, my application, React application will start on port localhost 3000. Let me see what happened. No static. Okay, it is fine. This is ignore. It is not able to find fav icon. So my application is starting now. So this is my React.js application in Material UI design. See, so we have 8 employees. It is application. I can click on the view detail. I can see the details of this employee. I can edit the details of the employee. I can cancel it. I can see all the details. I can add an employee. Let's say I will add another employee, Johnny Donny. Johnny at gmail.com. Department. It will give me which department. HR department. Let's say position is HR manager. Salary I will say. So I will create. So Johnny is created here, who is an HR. Let's say now I want to add another employee and just click on this. You see, I'm getting all the error handling, validation, everything is been already handled in this project properly. So it's saying email is required. Okay, I will add the email. Department is required. I will add department. Position, I will say this. And salary, I will say. And I will try to create the employee. Now what happened? We got a server side error. This error exception is not coming from client side because an employee with this name already exists. Email with this already exists. If you see here, already an email is existing. So there's an API logic, everything written. See, global exception handling is happening in the backend. It is saying duplicate email. So employee already exists. So even if what is done in this project, if you come know thoroughly, properly in this front end and back end, you will already be able to have 50% chance to clear interview. You will start to get calls because now you are at least a medium to junior level full stack developer, Java, Spring Boot, React. Now, if I want to delete some employee, I can delete employee, edit employee, whatever I can do, I want, I can do. So let's say I will change it to Johnny 22. So it will create that. And now if I want to search JOH, see it search it JOH, it JOH Johnson is there, Johnny is there, and also it is searching on email address. So just with this one project, you will be able to know also how to implement what? Search functionality because this search is also happening in the backend. You see, search is happening in the backend. You will be able to know how to write queries. See, this is a search functionality, search by keyword. When I typed JOH, it took the keyword and started to search on which fields? It searched on first name, last name, email, department. So now you will be able to write this kind of complex queries also, which they ask in interview. So next, I should be able to edit employee ABC. Let's say AB 123 GT update. So employee is updated. You see, employee is updated. Now I want to see the delete details of it. I can go back. I can delete the employee. It will ask me this. See, a nice pop-up notification is also appearing. This is deleted. So this is our complete front-end and back-end based application, end to end. Now I just can use it for any purpose. I can use it for inventory management, school management, hospital management, employee patient, anything. Doctor, I just can add JWT and login details to it, role-based authentication of that. I can use it for any purpose. This is the starting point, which I can use it for any purpose. If I know one small thing, I can use it for other things also. Okay. So now the question is, in 1 year, let's say, did you any of you built an end-to-end application, front end and back end to yourselves without taking help of Copilot or GPT and other things? Who did that? Who built it? कौन बनाया? कोई बनाया क्या? Kingshu?
No.
No. Upasna,
I built one application by watching videos and then tried myself in one project.
so tomorrow show me that project. Okay. We will deploy your project if you have built it, the front end and back end complete.
Means not much functionality is there. It's a simple student management application.
If this
It's,
is CRUD operation is also there, it's good enough. Okay. Like this, it's
okay.
there, right? You can
Yeah.
add, update, delete,
Only
search.
only add, update, delete. That much is there. No
Yes,
front end. I don't have front end knowledge.
you have to learn that. But if you don't learn the front end knowledge, you will be again falling back to less percentage. There is no problem, only that you are losing your chances in terms of 10-20% of getting the job. Forget about job call. Job is secondary. So you have to learn. Either you learn React, you learn Next.js, you learn Vue.js, you learn and the person and like Saurabh, did you build anything in last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years apart from the regular project? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Did you build anything yourself? No, you don't,
Not
you
myself.
yes, you don't have to be, let's say, feel bad that okay, but what I'm saying is if you are not doing this, then whom are you fighting? A person who is 24 by 7 learning versus a person who in years not build learning and building anything. So who will win? It's a very easy thing for this person, right? And in this case, it is LLM. And in this case, this is human. So human is easily losing. So you have to continuously build projects. Don't learn technology. Technology will change. Build projects. Building projects will give you confidence to learn new technology. Is it clear?
Yes.
So now we have built the application, it is running locally. So what we will do is we will just first create an Azure SQL database. Then we will ask our application to connect to this from our local machine only and not connect here. First thing we will do. Then we will create an app service and then deploy this application. Then we will connect this and connect log here, deploy this application. And then we have to give access of this particular VNet or subnet to access this Azure SQL database. For that, we have to write some security rules. And then we have to give access from this app service to connect to the key vault. We have to give access from app service to connect to the application insights for log monitoring. So a lot of things we have to do. There are three ways to do those things. There are three ways to do those things. One is there is Azure Cloud, and we know which services we have to use. One way is create your account, portal.azure, go to that portal.azure, create a resource group, create one app service for front React, create another app service for Spring Boot, create Azure SQL database, create keyword, create application insight. Done. Just click next, done. And then manually come, upload to app service your Spring Boot, manually upload to app service your React, give connection access to this manually, done. But hard reality is this is not allowed in the company. You will have UI access to just see things, not create anything. So learning to create UI infrastructure from UI is big useless. It is of no use. You learn it, good for you, but it is useless. They will not allow you to use it. Second option, there is something called Azure CLI. CLI is command line interface. Like this, from the command line, you can write type commands. Commands to create resource group, command to create app service, command to create database, command to create application insight, command to create the security groups. I have command to create the key vault. All from the Azure CLI. Same if you go to AWS, it has its own AWS CLI. This is allowed in companies. But how many commands you will write and remember? So there is another option, Terraform, which is a neutral cloud scripting infrastructure as a service technology. You write once to create something in one cloud and run it on separate clouds by giving different values. But not many companies use Terraform because they don't like it. So they go for cloud specific technology to automate infrastructure. For Azure, it is called biceps templating, where you do write exactly the same thing to create all these services, but in a programmatic way, so that you will have scripts files which you can store in GitHub. Tomorrow you can edit the new file. You can there's a pull request. All those you can do, which is not possible if you do follow CLI based thing. You will no one will come to know when who changed what. Same way, if you go for AWS cloud, there's something called AWS cloud formation template, to do the exact same thing, programmatically create resources. So let me share a new link now where we will continue to see what in our project we have as an infrastructure. So you see CLI based is there, but also biceps templates are there for creating different infrastructure resources. We will go through them in the next video. And we will first also walk through the Azure portal.